2022 10 people are killed and 15 are injured in a stabbing spree in 13 locations on the James Smith Cree Nation and in Weldon, Saskatchewan. 2020 Pope Benedict XVI becomes the longest-lived pope, 93 years, 4 months, 16 days, surpassing Pope Leo XIII, who died in 1903. 2002 The Oakland Athletics win their 20th consecutive game, an American League record. 1998 Google is founded by Larry Page and Sergey Brin, two students at Stanford University. 1989 in Leipzig, East Germany, the first of weekly demonstration for the legalization of opposition groups and democratic reforms takes place. 1977 The Golden Dragon Massacre was a gang-related shooting attack that took place on September 4, inside the Golden Dragon restaurant. 1975 The Sinai Interim Agreement relating to the Arab-Israeli conflict is signed, with the intention of peacefully resolving territorial disputes. The signing ceremony took place in Geneva. 1972 The Price is Right premieres on CBS. It currently is the longest-running game show on American television. 1972 Mark Spitz becomes the first competitor to win 7 medals at a single Olympic Games. 1967 Vietnam War. Operation Swift begins when U.S. Marines engage the North Vietnamese in battle in the Khe Sun Valley. 1957 American Civil Rights Movement. Little Rock Crisis. The governor of Arkansas calls out the National Guard to prevent African American students from enrolling in Little Rock Central High School. 1949 The Peekskill riots erupt after a Paul Robeson concert in Peekskill, New York. The catalyst for the rioting was an announced concert by black singer Paul Robeson. 1948 Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands abdicates for health reasons. 1944 World War II. The British 11th Armoured Division liberates the Belgian city of Antwerp. 1941 World War II. A German submarine makes the first attack of the war against a United States warship, the USS Greer. 1939 World War II. William J. Murphy commands the first Royal Air Force attack on Germany. 1936 Spanish Civil War. Largo Caballero forms a war cabinet to direct the Republican war effort. 1923 Maiden flight of the first U.S. airship, the USS Shenandoah. 1919 Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, who founded the Republic of Turkey, gathers a Congress in Sivas to make decisions as to the future of Anatolia and Thrace. 1912 Albanian rebels succeed in their revolt when the Ottoman Empire agrees to fulfill their demands. 1888 George Eastman registers the trademark Kodak and receives a patent for his camera that uses roll film. 1886 American Indian Wars. After almost 30 years of fighting, Apache leader Geronimo, with his remaining warriors, surrenders to General Nelson Miles in Arizona. 1882 The Pearl Street Station in New York City becomes the first power plant to supply electricity to paying customers. 1870 Emperor Napoleon III of France is deposed and the Third Republic is declared. 1867 Sheffield Wednesday Football Club are founded at the Adelphi Hotel in Sheffield, becoming one of the first football clubs in the world. 1839 Battle of Kowloon. British vessels open fire on Chinese war junks, enforcing a food sales embargo on the British community in China in the first armed conflict of the First Opium War. 1827 The Great Fire of Turku almost completely destroys Finland's former capital city. It is still the largest urban fire in the history of Finland and the Nordic countries. 1812 War of 1812. The siege of Fort Harrison begins when the fort is set on fire. It was won by an outnumbered United States force garrisoned inside the fort against a combined Native American force near modern Terre Haute, Indiana. 1800, the French garrison in Valletta surrenders to British troops who had been called at the invitation of the Maltese. The islands of Malta and Gozo become the Malta Protectorate. 1781, Los Angeles is founded as El Pueblo de Nuestra Señora la Reina de Los Angeles, the Village of Our Lady, the Queen of the Angels, by 44 Spanish settlers. 1774, New Caledonia is first sighted by Europeans, during the second voyage of Captain James Cook. 1666, in London, England, the most destructive damage from the Great Fire occurs. 1479, the Treaty of Alcachovas is signed by the Catholic monarchs of Castile and Aragon on one side and Afonso V and his son, Prince John of Portugal. It put an end to the War of the Castilian Succession. 1282, at the invitation of some rebels, Peter III of Aragon conquered the Kingdom of Sicily and became King of Sicily. 1260, the Sienese Ghibellines, supported by the forces of Manfred, King of Sicily, defeat the Florentine Guelphs at Monteperti. 929, Battle of Lenzen. Slavic forces, the Redari and the Obotrites, are defeated by a Saxon army near the fortified stronghold of Lenzen in Brandenburg. 626, Li Shimin, posthumously known as Emperor Taizong of Tang, assumes the throne over the Tang dynasty of China. 476, Romulus Augustulus is deposed when Odoacer proclaims himself King of Italy, thus ending the Western Roman Empire.